Welcome back to Toronto Talk Sports and More. It's your guy NWB, and today we have a very special guest. We have a world champion pool player, and not just that, he has a very special announcement for the city of Toronto. I introduce to you Raj Hundal. Raj, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Thank you for having me today.
No worries. Now, obviously, we're in an interesting time with the global pandemic and the quarantine life, so how you been holding up? What are the things you've been getting up to in that time?
To be honest, I've been working harder than I've ever been working because spare time for me is not something that even exists, really. I'm always up to something. But in this time here, I really got busy on certain things that I wanted to add to, like the Premier Billiard League, our league that we're kicking off. So been putting in extra work with the guys in the back office with certain softwares and programs and graphics and even like grading and color and just anything that we can possibly do to make our product as good as it can be. You know, we're not into doing things good. We have to do it great. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't matter for us, you know?
I like the sound of that.
This time has been a blessing in a sense, in terms of having that extra time and focus. So we were able to meet deadlines and execute things we needed to do. But at the same time, you know, I can't not feel sorry for a lot of the world who have, whether they've been ill or they've lost lives or you know, financially they've lost their business or they've lost their jobs. It's tough, you know, it's kind of sad. I don't know. The whole world is upside down right now. You know, it's very sad.
Yeah, you're right. The world came to a standstill in February, March, depending on where you are in the world. I mean, you're coming to us from London in the UK, and your Prime Minister had the virus as well. So it's been fortunate that he's been able to come through. Not everyone has come through this pandemic, unfortunately. But as you say, there are opportunities that have come out of this, and one of them is the PBL, which you alluded to. So for our audience, Raj Hundal is not just a professional billiards player. Raj Hundal is also bringing to us the Premier Billiards League. So this league will be coming to you in Toronto in the near future. This will be in fact, Raj, you tell us about the PBL.
Well, look, I mean, for example, there was a time when guys just played football or soccer. And then, although it was organized, and it might have even been televised, or back then it had been more radio, it hadn't become the global sensation that it is today. Same with like the NBA. The guys were just playing basketball in a park or wherever they were, and then came the NBA. The PBL is that. I mean, I'm gonna half disrespect my own career. It's like even the tournaments I've won, you know, whether it be a world title or any other event, these events could have been way better in terms of. I'm not talking about the standard of players. That's always been right, you know, the top of the top. To be with the best, you have to be the best. There's no shortcut there. But in terms of production, what the promoters are doing, the way they are showing and showcasing the sport. For me, it's all incorrect. It's all wrong. And for years, I've been trying to tell them that, look, we need to find a new approach here. We need to do something different. Our numbers are going down. But they just look at me like I don't know what I'm going on about. So, listen, there's only a certain amount of times I'm going to knock on your door. But if you don't answer, I need to go find a new door. You know? So what I did was, instead of finding a new door, I went and built a new house. You know? I kind of thought, well, let me get together with the right people. Now, my co-founding partner, Nathan, is actually a Toronto resident. So it's funny, actually, because although I live here in London, our actual company, it is registered in Toronto. And the PBL first launch event, the first opening event, which is actually a showcase of what we're doing and what we can put together for the networks and sponsors, is what it is. Call it a high-priced pilot, if you like. And that event there was scheduled for May this year, and sadly the corona kicked off, and you know, so the venue and everything that we had planned there just kind of, you know, you might as well have just you know, set fire to it. It was all done. There was no nothing. And even right now, you know, our event is not. There's only one guy that lives in Toronto that's playing. Everybody else has to fly in. It's like myself. I've got to come from London. We've got champions coming from Asia. We've got some coming from America. So how can they fly in? And how can I tell them when they can fly in? So I can't even say, all right, guys, we're gonna shoot the event on November the 20th. I can't even confirm that right now because by law, I think there's something like you can only have like 20 people together. I mean, that's just my my tech crew, you know. And then you've got the actual players themselves. You talk about audience. I mean, I'm not going to get out there and play in front of nobody. You know, we want at least 200, 300, 400 people in attendance, give it that atmosphere, that buzz. So I'm kind of disappointed in a way because we're kind of up in the air, and I've got so many people asking me when, and I want to say tomorrow, but I can't confirm it, can I? You know, it's tough, but listen, I mean, look at football. I'm sure you're a football fan of some sort.
I am an Arsenal fan, actually. Don't hold it against me.
Not everybody's perfect, man. It's not your fault. Look.
Are you a Tottenham fan or something? Are we going to have an issue here?
I'm a Liverpool fan. It's even worse for you.
Oh, it's so
he wants to cut the interview. He wants to cut the interview.
No. Just remember 1989. It's up for grabs. It's up for grabs. All right. Anyway, just get.
But listen,
yeah.
What were we saying? Look, what we're up to in our sport is really taking it to the next level. You know, it's almost like when you know, there was a time. I don't know if you ever watched snooker at all. Did you ever watch snooker?
Yeah, I saw the days of Ronnie O'Sullivan and guys like that going around.
Okay, so Ronnie's still playing, still active, great player. But we had a guy long time ago, even before you and I were born. His name was Alex Higgins, and he transcended the sport. He took it to the next level. But you know, we do have players with beautiful personalities and characters. Amazing. I'm a fan of a lot of them. Although I'm competing and trying to kill them on the pool table, a lot of them, if I step away from being a professional pool player, I've got to say I'm almost a fan of them myself because they're amazing characters. They've got great stories, and the problem is they don't have the platform. The promoters haven't given them the platform to show their art, their talent, their character, their persona. You know, to share their charisma with the world. And when you can't do these things, you're almost non-existent. You know, you're not. If all these great football teams their matches weren't aired, and not only aired, but the production wasn't as good as it was, you know, nobody would really pay no mind to it. You know, you wouldn't sit there. There's a reason why Cristiano Ronaldo, has more fans than the whole Kardashian family put together. There's a reason for that. And the reason is his art, his skill. I'm not even a Ronaldo fan. I'm actually a Messi fan, if anything. But I'll use him as an example. You know, it's he's great. He's phenomenal at what he does. But we know that because he's been given the platform to show us how great he is and how he performs under pressure, and the sport itself is shown to you in all depth, all the percentages, the stats, that, you know, there's nothing you can not learn watching a football game. That's even right. If you never played, you know, and we've never had that. Listen, I'll be honest with you, they've even had events of ours where they got a guy commentating. His actual job is a gardener. You might have him over to paint your fence. Right. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, he hasn't got a damn clue about pool. You know, you might as well commentate on a swimming pool. Right. You know, it don't make no.
So you want to you
basketball? You got Charles Barkley on the pundit.
That's right.
On the pundit bench talking, and
you have experts, and it sounds like with the PBL you want to raise the game in terms of the exposure and have experts talking about what they know with the billiard scene. So
everything about past champions.
Yeah. Like yourself. So tell us about that when you won the World Masters.
When I'm not playing, I'll be doing a bit of punditry myself. But
Yeah.
Oh wow, what a time that was. I was 23. I'm pretty sure till this day I'm still the youngest in history to have ever won the World Masters. And it's a great time. I peaked when I was really young, which I'll be honest with you, kind of hurt me in a way. But now that I'm kind of going full circle, it's the best thing that ever happened to me, because the last thing you want to be in a game is a veteran and you're done and the road is over, but you still haven't paved the way for the next generation to do something different. You know, Muhammad Ali came around and transcended the sport. Yeah. Now, we can never be like him, none of us. Yeah, he's cut from a different cloth. But what I mean is, his impact to the sport was unreal. You know, it's phenomenal. It's today why you got guys like Conor McGregor running his mouth. Where did you think he learned that from? You know? Where do you think he learned that from? He learned that for the best, you know? And even Ali, he'd have learned that from like Joe Louis.
Right.
You know, that goes back a long way. So, but in our sport, I see a lot of old greats just rotting away, and it's sad. It's sad. I mean, guys I really looked up to as a kid, and I sit there and I think they're right. Our sport never took care of them, and for me, more than just being a pool player, I want to be of service to my sport. I want to be of service to little kids out there that think stuff is not possible. No, I want to be the proof for them to say, well, no, that's wrong. Everything is very, very possible and doable. Like, don't never think it's not. How many people you think told me I couldn't be a professional pool player? How many told me?
I can only imagine, Raj. There would have been hundreds probably saying you're crazy, you don't know what you're doing, but you did it. You persevered, you pushed through. So I guess to that end, what is some advice you pass on to kids or younger players that are maybe they're playing at their pool table at their friend's place and they actually want to take this a bit more seriously? What are some words of advice you pass on to them?
Well, you first of all, we watch and learn. So if right now there's not a lot of pool on TV, which I'm working on changing for you, but if there isn't, there's always stuff on YouTube. You can watch old classics. Learn, study from the greats in the 50s and 60s and 70s and the 80s and the 90s and you can see how the game evolved itself, but you can see the foundations and the basics. And this can be applied in every sport, by the way. This is not just a rule for my sport. This works actually in anything in life almost. And what I would say to them kids is, don't be scared to fail. It's all right to miss a shot. It's okay to get beat. It doesn't make you a loser. If you learn, you're a winner still. So if you adapt that mentality of, okay, I got beat. I learned something in that match. I learned something about the game. I learned something about myself. I might have learned something about my opponent. I might have learned multiple different things. Did they register? Am I going to bring them up next time I'm in a similar situation? Or am I going to let the pressure dictate how I'm going to think and act? So again, we're gonna have to get used to the point of breaking ourselves down, building, coming back stronger. Break ourselves down, building, coming back stronger. That's how champions are made. You don't just wake up. I didn't wake up and beat the world playing pool. I didn't do that. You know, it was a long process, and that process is still going on. Because look, I'm not done. I'm not even. I don't believe I've even reached my peak. You know, I'm still to. It's not like tennis where you're done at 35. You know, it's not. It ain't that sport. You can win world titles still in your 50s. You know, if you're, you got to stay able-bodied to some extent, but I don't have to be in the same shape as Usain Bolt either. You know?
Right. But you look like you're in good shape as it is, I must say.
Thank you. Well, I eat good. I more than anything, I eat good. I'll be honest. I've been lazy in the gym lately, but I eat good. Right.
Now, I just wanted to ask you one more question. I mean, you talked about blazing the trail for others.
Yeah.
You're also a proud athlete from the Sikh community, and there are others that come before you, or that came around the same time as you, including Monty Panesar and Ravi Papara from the world of cricket. You had Vijay Singh, the golfer.
Hold on, say that name again. Ravi.
Ravi Bopara.
Oh yeah. Good player.
Yeah,
Good player.
the all-rounder.
Yeah.
So I guess what are some, first off, do you think athletes should be using their platform more to be representing their communities?
And here, I'm gonna tell you something. Here's where I think I failed. I'm not great with social media. I've never had. I'm a very keep myself to myself kind of guy. You know, it's. I guess I'm that slightly different era where, if you ask me, I think social media should be outlawed. You know, it's almost like for you to show up and have too much voice when you haven't really done nothing to get it. It's dangerous. You know what I mean? Because maybe you haven't gone through the right process, and now you're out there trying to influence people, but you're not really cut from that cloth. You know, it's kind of scary. But yes, we do have a responsibility. See, this is tough because am I a role model? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I'm just another kid. In a sense of I am going to make mistakes, you know. I am going to I might say something that's not always politically correct, or I mean I will stay politically correct, but in the sense of a promoter might not like what I've said is what I'm better off saying. That's because I'm going to speak my truth. But they will tell the kids of today, do not speak your truth, stay in line, play your position. So no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. So my social media, if it's going to be used for anything, yeah, I'm gonna push what we're doing and everything else. But the minute it's on TV, my social media ain't gonna make the difference there. You know, the difference that I can make is letting other kids know that look, I'm the first Sikh kid, the first Indian kid to ever walk this planet in all of history to win a world title. And I'm telling you, it was a cakewalk because I put my mind to it. Whereas some won't tell you that. You know what they'll tell you? Oh, no, you got to be this and you got to be lucky and you just got to be focused and you got to have some heart. These are the ingredients. Heart, and that can't be bought or trained in a way. It's something that I do believe we're born with. And you'll see certain children, you'll be like, oh, well, that kid operates differently. You know, it's, you'll see that heart. I can spot kids that are like, oh, wait, that kid got that sporting, I see it. You know what I mean? That never give up mentality.
That moxie, that bulldog in him. Yeah.
Yeah, the bulldog. I like that. I like that word. That's a, you know, it's important to have that because sport is about fighting. We are going to be in a fight, you know, irrelevant of the sport, whether it be tennis or football or actual boxing itself. We're in a fight, and that's what I want to use my platform for more than anything else. Is just to work with kids and be able to tell them that look, get out there and do it. Girls, boys, from whatever background you're from, whatever your parents' financial situation. And look, I'll be honest with you. I played all sports great. I was on the cricket team, football team, basketball team. I won tennis tournaments.
Nice.
The first time I ever played golf was literally 4 years ago. I was pinging the ball out in 10 minutes. The guy with me who was instructing me said, you got to take a long time. You know, you got to show up a few times to be able to do that. He goes, I can't. He goes, you've never played. I said, no, I haven't. And he says, well, how have you done it? I said, I'm just emulating your technique. And when I asked you to break it down in phases, I figured it out. But here's the sad part. When I was growing up, my parents couldn't really afford to take me to the golf club and become members or the tennis club because these societies are a little bit different, you know? And that's, you never know. I could have won your Wimbledon tournament, mate, because I've got the heart, I've got the focus. That's proven.
Right.
I just never had the opportunity on a tennis court. But I won tennis tournaments as a kid without a coach or anything, just natural ability. So what I want kids to do is go harass their parents and tell them, take me here, let me try this, let me do that, because somewhere in there there's a champion and a future legend to come. You know?
Yes,
that's what I want to use my social media for. is to represent hope.
I like the sound of that, and I really like the sound of the PBL, to be honest, Raj. I know there's a lot in flux at the moment with the world and with borders and whatnot. Health and safety is paramount, but one day things will settle down and we'll be able to have you in Toronto and be able to have some of your peers and other athletes in town for the tournament. Do you have any little nuggets that you can share with our audience from that perspective in terms of the near future? Anything you can share with us to build a bit of hype between now and then?
Well, put it this way: anything that we have, we put on our website, premierbilliardleague.com, and we try to update our socials as possible. But right this minute, it's like everyone's just waiting on us to book the venue and just say, well, okay, this is the said date for the event. So we're just going to like drip feed some things out and just keep our interaction with our fans nice. But we're kind of at a bit of a stumbling block until we can get the go-ahead from the government to say, well, yeah, all right, you can put your event on now and crack on with it. But the minute, I'm talking about if they let us know tonight, I mean, tomorrow we're back out, locking up a venue, setting up a date. And, well, look, let's be realistic. If they said something in August, okay, guys, we're going to start opening things up, getting back to normal. Possibly we could book a venue for maybe October or November. I'd say probably more November, maybe even December. But then we've got to deal with the Toronto weather, which is, you know, you need them goose jackets. You know, it gets cold over there.
No doubt. Thankfully, you will be indoors for it, so that'll be good. I'll definitely be there. Where can we find more about the? Yes, I will be there. Don and myself, we're gonna be there. We're gonna show off in numbers once this tournament gets on the road. So you can hold me to that, by the way. You hold me to that. Now, where can we find the league on social media?
Oh, social media, just PBL Social. That's it. That's the handle. Is at PBL Social, and yeah, we got a nice little page running. We got a decent website. Just, you know, if people go on there's a mailing list. You can join the mailing list. We could update you all the time. Just keep you within our circle in a way, and just keep you you know, and for us, by the way, thank you for anyone who supports and is on this journey with us. But look, the pool fans are the pool fans. They're hardcore. They're always going to be there. But we want to introduce this to the rest of the world and get them involved and show them this sport. And here's the other thing too. It's a beautiful sport in the sense of guys could play, girls could play, young, old, able, disabled. It's a great game for the mind, you know. If you ask me what is the ultimate sport is chess. The battle of the wits is the truth. But we have that on the pool table with the element of the you know, the strategic side where we're trying to outsmart our opponent. But then you got the skill factor as well. So it's almost like you got to be strategic how you maneuver whilst playing a violin. It's a tough sport, my friend. It's like golf, and the ball waits for you. It's a dead ball sport. The pressure can only mount. The demons can only come in. It's a very hard game to play. It's a very hard game under pressure, you know, and that's what's beautiful about it. I'll be honest with you. That's the beauty. That's what separates when we play for, you know, it's a cliche. That's what separates the men from the boys is, can you still think and operate when all the TV cameras are on and, you know, we're there playing for money and all the fans are there and it really matters is, can this still operate, you know? And that's, it's funny to see someone who I know is a great player just crumble under that pressure. And I just think, wow, you know, like, wow, how did that happen? It's crazy.
It's all in the mind, Raj, and you are a champion with a champion mentality. So, mate, it's been a pleasure to have you on today. As we said, the Premier Billiards League is coming to Toronto in the next few months. Hopefully, fingers crossed that things will open up in the world. But it's coming to us. We're excited. And for Toronto Talks for some more, this is your boy NWB. For the love of the six, let's connect.
Thank you for watching. Please click the like button and leave us a comment with your feedback. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications to see more engaging and interactive content. Toronto Talk Sports and more. For the love of the six, let's connect.